لا تجزعي
This is the voice of the creator of the heavens and the earth giving you and I some details. And he revealed this to his servant, his illiterate servant, born in the desert 1424 years ago. And then he says that he created us from dust, dirt, a substance from the earth, mixed with water. In one place he calls it nutfa. Nutfa means sperm. In another place he calls it turab. It means dust. In another place he calls it salsalin. It means a mixture of sounding clay. All of these themselves are descriptions of the origin of the human being and his nature. Then in the same verses, what does he say? He says, first, we created you from sperm, and after sperm, made you into a clot of blood clinging to the womb. Now think about that. When was it discovered from a scientific point of view, from an academic point of view, when was it discovered that the sperm, when it impregnated the egg, became a clot of blood, and that clot of blood clung to the womb of the mother so that it could get the nutrition and become a host. So the mother would become a host and she would begin to feed it without even her own volition. Then he says, from that clot of blood, it began to hang. And now we know from scientific filming, scientific documentation, that the sperm swims, millions of sperm, and only one hits that egg. Then that egg settles in the womb. When it settles in the womb, it germinates. When it germinates and breaks open, it becomes a clot of blood. And then it clings to the womb. Then after that, it starts to hang from the womb. And that hanging part is the umbilical cord. The Quran said that. Then he says, from that hanging clot, then we make into it a fetus. Now we know that 9 weeks into pregnancy, the fetus is there. The fetus, what is it? It's the brain. It's the spinal cord. It's the part of the human being that gives it all the senses and its identity. Then we know at 21 weeks, it's a fully grown embryo. With the heart pumping, with the lungs breathing, with the eyes fully formed, with the hands and the fingers and the toes, and the kidneys functioning. 12 weeks, fully formed. Then he says, then we clothe that fetus with skin. And then he says, after that we clothe it, then after that we bring it forward as another creature. So it comes forward as a child. Because as a child, now it has its own personality. It is given its own spirit. It is given its own designation. It comes forward. It is named a child, a human with its own name and identity. This is what the Quran says, 1424 years ago, our beginning. Then he says, after some time, you will die. A fact. No, maybe, not some of you, not the poorest of you, not the weakest of you, but all of you will come through this process and then you will die. Now we know that whether they create what they call a surrogate mother or whether they take that and put it into a test tube, the process is still the same, isn't it? Cannot go outside of this process because the Creator is the Creator and He has determined the system. Now the human beings can fool around a little bit and make a surrogate mother, put a baby in a monkey. They can do all kind of foolish things if they want to, but they will not change the process. But what they may do is that the other thing that comes forward may be something other than what the Creator has intended. My dear brothers and sisters, that's our beginning. Now I want you to listen for a moment. The Quran says, you are busy piling up, calculating, developing your careers, your money, your occupation, your wealth, until you visit the graves. All of you are engaged in running your mouths, doing your business, multiplying, buying houses, cars, business, whatever you're doing. And when you're told about God, religion, life, morality, you're saying, I ain't got no time for that. You got no time for that. I don't want to hear that. I don't even believe in God. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I'm going to die, and if I do, maybe I'm coming back again. As a matter of fact, science is so sophisticated that I think really that they're on the verge of being able to solve the whole thing of death soon. We ain't got to die. If we got enough money, we don't even have to die. See how arrogant people can be until they visit the funeral house. So it really means that after all this time, and the people walk away from that grave, it's over. What about that person in the grave? What's happening? Because you know and I know, death is like sleeping. Your body is gone. Your body is dead. Your spirit is gone, but your consciousness is there. Yes, brothers and sisters, you and I are going to know. When the people put us in that box and put us in the grave, we are going to know. Your spirit is gone. You can't shout. You can't call out. You can't say, don't leave me here. But you're going to be hearing and you're going to be seeing, because that's a different kind of consciousness. But you can't move. And in that grave, this is when the real trauma is going to begin. And this is what you have to think about. That grave is going to be a place of drama and trauma. A place where you're going to be questioned before you're resurrected.